Okay, everybody, thanks so much for jumping on. My name's Camille Westmoreland. I'm super, super excited to jump on with you guys. I do love to jump on here, once a quarter or whenever Dr. Jewel asks me to really just make sure that everybody sees and understands everything that goes along with business building, because my goal is to make sure that everyone is as efficient and as effective with their business building and understanding all the facets, the ins and outs and things like that. So I'm gonna try to go through my presentation as quickly as possible to leave time for any questions. You can put them in the chat and I'll try to answer as many questions as you guys have that I don't cover in the presentation. And so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let me get ready to share my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this slideshow. Okay, so I told Dr. Jewel, she asked me what I wanted to talk about, and I just told her I wanted to talk about maximizing where rank advancement is concerned. I actually started looking at some different things where business building was concerned to help myself become more efficient and effective, and so I wanted to make sure that I share this information with other people. So definitely make sure, check that chat. If you got leaders that's not on the call, you definitely want to get them on the call. Watching the replay is good for the person that has the patience to sit and watch it, but getting it live gives you so much more because of the questions and things like that you are able to ask. So anyway, we're gonna jump in here. So it's a couple of points for effective business building that I want to make sure that everybody understands. First of all, ask them, do you use Wells Fargo? Let me tell you, we get this question a lot. Or we get people messaging us like they're trying to pay, but their payment's not working and the bank is not seeing it and this and that. So right now, Wells Fargo is not a bank that is actually accepted by IM Mastery Academy. So that's one of the first questions that you want to ask people, just to make sure to go ahead and clear the airwaves there, okay? The next thing that you definitely want to make sure of is to make sure that they understand that the name being used to register and the name on the card must match, okay? This is extremely important because it doesn't matter if you're a husband and wife or whatever. If the husband card is on that, name is on that card, then the husband's name needs to be the one signing up in the system. Because what happens is when it goes through the quality control, automatic refunds are being submitted. So I've had a lot of people reach out to us because they're getting refunded and they're like, well, I didn't initiate a refund. The company is initiating that refund because everything has to match. Okay, so you got to make sure that, and then they end up having to wait for the refund to sign back up. So to be effective, you want to make sure that you are checking those things. Those are like one of the first things I ask. And then the second thing I say, if I know it's a couple. Like if I know it's just one person, I don't really have to say that. But if I know it's a couple coming in, it's like, okay, make sure whatever name you put on here is the name for the card that you're utilizing. Okay. And then make sure every new person comes in as a customer, not an IBO. This is extremely important because 55% customer volume is necessary in order for you to hit ranks. And then once you get out of that percentage standpoint, if you will, you have volume there, but it doesn't really count. And so I'm gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. I didn't get a chance to do a real visual, but I'm gonna try to kind of explain it so hopefully it works. And then also keep a minimum of 6 personals. The reason I recommend keeping a minimum of 6 personals is because you have people that will fall off, not because they quit, but if a customer upgrades to an IBO, you no longer have that customer volume that you need for your personals. If that customer gets 2, you no longer have that customer volume. So when they get their 2 to be free, that volume goes away. So when it's talking about personals, it's not talking about just people that are connected to you. It's talking about personally paid subscribers. And let me cut off my annotation because people are writing on my screen. Hold on. So you just want to make sure, and I felt like 6 was very conservative, but I pushed to have 10 to 15 personals myself, always active, meaning paying. Okay. And the reality is you're going to find some people that just want to pay. They don't want to find 2 people, and that's okay. I don't pressure anybody to get 2 because I know that their volume is helping me hit rank, and their volume is also helping me maintain my ranks. Okay. So anyway, so I wanted to tell you that. So now your ideal business setup. The goal is to have 3 legs. There may be some cases where you have more than 3 legs for whatever reason. You missed the window to place, or you started a new leg because a leader went inactive or someone went inactive and then they decided to reactivate. It could be different things, and it's okay. Don't feel like you have to reach out and be like, man, I don't have 3 legs. I'm not going to be able to hit rank. What I tell my team and what I tell people to do is focus on your 3 legs that have builders in it that's really pushing. That's where your focus is. All the other is just kind of extra. Because I have someone now who has 2 people that's like leg 4 and 5, but they straight customers that's just trading. So it's not a big deal. So that's when you as a leader have to come in and kind of survey your organization to kind of see where I need to be paying attention. And then it's also important to recognize that because your 3 legs with the most volume are the legs that show up in your rank report. And we're going to talk about the rank report here in a little bit when I go to the next couple slides. Okay, so rank advancement chart. So I really just recreated this really quick because your rank advancement is now based on the number of subscribers. It used to be like volume / subscribers, blah, blah, blah. But now that there are so many variations as to what package you get, what add-ons you can get, and all of that to me is kind of out the window. So now it's more focused on the number of people, not necessarily what the overall number says, if that makes sense, okay? So I created this quick chart right here so you can see. Now, at Platinum 150 or Platinum 600, really you just need 3. You know what I'm saying? Well, Platinum 600 is really 2 customers and 1 subscriber. So that's another thing. You have to know the difference between a customer and a subscriber. I didn't put that in there. But understand this. You have to have 3 customers. Now, an IBO can be a subscriber, but they cannot be a customer. So, for example, if Dwayne Lodge enrolled me, I signed up with the Platinum package. I'm a customer, but I'm also a subscriber because I'm subscribing to the services. Now, once I upgrade to IBO, because I'm now building a business, I'm still considered a subscriber, but I'm no longer a customer, okay? So this is really good for the people who are, just starting off, or you right here at the Platinum 600 rank and Platinum 1000 rank and so forth. This is another reason that you want to make sure that you're continually enrolling people, okay? Because what happens is Dwayne just enrolled myself, Randy Webb, and Dr. Jewel. So Dwayne is now Platinum 150. But look, me, Randy, and Dr. Jewel turn around and enroll 3 people. So now we upgrade to IBO. So now Dwayne has 3 Platinum 150s who have 3 customers. That's a total of 12 subscribers, right? But because we upgraded, Dwayne no longer has any customers. So we're Platinum 150. Dwayne could be Platinum 600, but because he has no customers, he is now no rank at all. I want to make sure you understand that. So that's why you want to continually be enrolling people. When you enroll people and like honestly what I do, when I enroll people and I know they're going to be builders, I don't even really count them as my customers. I'm already thinking I need to go ahead and replace that person because they're going to be upgrading to IBO really quick. Okay, so that's kind of the mindset of what you want to think. So I broke this down from Platinum 150 all the way to Chairman 500, the number of customers that you need to have in place. Okay, honestly, if you follow this chart, you'll never like go down from rank because of your personals. And I'll say that because on the regular compensation chart, for Platinum 600 and Platinum 1000, you really only need 2 customers, right? But once you get to 2000, it starts with 3. So I just tell everybody, keep 3 minimum. 3 is your magic number. Even if the rank report says you only need 2, think 3. And the reason why is this, and I had this happen to somebody recently. They were Platinum 2000. So they had their 3 people. They had all the volume that they needed for Platinum 2000, but then they only had 3 customers. They only had 3 customers. They did not have the extra overage that I recommend. So one of their customers went free. So now while they have the volume for Platinum 1000, 2000, they only getting paid at Platinum 1000 because they don't have enough personals. They don't have enough customers. Okay. So you want to make sure that you actually, just kind of follow that. And so this tells you on the second row, the second row, the number of subscribers that you need in order to hit the rank above. And then, as I mentioned, well, I didn't really mention this, but from a rank advancement standpoint, you have to you can max out at 40% per leg. So if you look at my numbers on the very bottom, I know Platinum 600 looks a little off, but I'm gonna explain why. When they updated everything with the charts, Platinum 600 is generally like 444, but they've actually rounded. I've been testing this out for the last 2 months with my leaders in building, so I could be able to share this with you guys. So anyway, so the bottom level tells you the max number of people that can come from one leg. So to check where you are towards your rank, you want to pay attention to the rank report page in your back office at im.academy. I encourage you to look at that every day. I look at it every day. Keep note that whenever you do enroll someone, their volume does not show up immediately. The volume is updated on the rank report, I believe, twice a day. So if you don't see it, don't panic. Just check it a little later in the day, and you should start seeing those numbers update, okay? So anyway, so I wanted to keep going. So if you go to your menu settings, you'll see rank report right here. So when you click on it, you get the chart. The area that you're paying attention to is the weekly rank cheat sheet and your placement tree express calculator. So this cheat sheet tells you, and remember, this is based off the 40% rule. So we've been building, and we're looking to get 40% in one leg, 40% in another leg, and 20% in another leg, right? So this cheat sheet is showing you that, okay? So when you're looking, it's like, hey, I'm looking to reach Chairman 10. In my first leg, I need 200, so I got 254. In my second leg, I need 200, but I got 155. And in my third leg, I need 100, but I got 49. So it kind of gives you a clear idea of where you need to be focusing in order to hit the ranks. And I don't know if I put this on here. But the goal is for you to see what ranks you can create. So as you're creating ranks, your rank will automatically happen. So if I'm pushing for a Chairman 10, I'm looking to build up 2 Platinum 5000s and a potential third 5,000 or 2,000. So that's how you have to think. So when I go to my 3 main leaders that I'm looking to push to that rank, we're then looking at their organization and say, okay, if you're trying to get 5,000, you need to be creating 2 2000s and a 100. So who are the leaders in your organization that we can push to these ranks? And so that's how you want to think. You want to think about your team. Making them successful makes you successful, and that's the mindset you have. So from my research the last 2 weeks, 1 to 2 months, it's like some major game changers out there. So I was like mind blown. So let's kind of talk about it. Okay, so this weekly rank cheat sheet, I'm getting tongue tied, is based off the 40-40-20, as I mentioned. That's what we've been doing day one since we came in 4 years ago. 40-40-20, which is absolutely right. And people would ask me here and there, and I'm like, I don't know. I haven't seen it live, but I've actually had the opportunity to see it live, that you could actually make rank 2 other ways. I put 2 different ways, but 2 alternate ways. So really 3 ways. 40% based off of the compensation plan is the max you can get from one leg. But that does not mean that you have to max out 40% on the other leg. The other 60% or whatever can come any kind of way. And technically 40% is the max, but it doesn't mean that you have to get 40%. As long as it don't go over 40%, all your volume helps to help you hit rank. And so I was like, are you sure this is right? But real talk, in my team, I've been helping people hit goals using these 2 alternate strategies because I wanted to see if it worked. I'm like, okay, let's just play with it. This is what I'm thinking. Place this person here so we can see. Okay. So it's really a game changer. So now you have 3 different ways you can hit rank. So you don't have to feel like, man, I got this power leg, or I got these two, or, you know, it just really changed the game for me and how I'm helping, you know, everybody, you know, hit their ranks or whatever. So I created weekly rank cheat sheets for the 40% where you max out one leg and you just split the other two legs over 30%. Or if you split them out evenly 3 ways. So you'll get access to this cheat sheet, right? And so just to kind of give you an example, for Platinum 600, we just popped one today that we're going to announce. Based off of the compound chart from 12 people, 40% of that is 4.8. The company is rounding that up to 5. I literally got someone, and I was talking to her yesterday, and I was like, okay, we need to get you one more person on your leg, because this is before it just happened yesterday. I didn't think it worked for 600. I thought it only worked for 1,000 and above. So when we were looking like, okay, we got one more that we got to get in for you so you can be Platinum 600. But then when she woke up this morning, she was a Platinum 600. So that made me see, okay, this applies to 600 and above. I thought it could only work for Platinum 1,000 and above. And so that was literally her structure, 5, 4, 3. Actually, in the leg that 5, she really had like 8 or 9 people or whatever, but just 4 in the other leg and 3 in that leg to hit rank. So now what it does is, if you have that power leg, it's cool. That power leg got you set to go multiple ranks, right? And then let's just say you got these other 2 legs. You could really be building them side by side. One doesn't have to be super weak. One don't have to be super strong, you know, and you could literally just follow this and say, okay, I'm going to get 40% max out of one leg. The other 60%, I'm just splitting up amongst my 2 legs. And so this is, you know, a way for you to be able to just kind of see where you are. Like, I encourage you, and I'm going to post these in Rise to Profit team app. I encourage you just to have access to all 3. So even as you're building, you just kind of see based on, you know, don't just pick one. So with my team, I'm not just picking one or the other. I'm like, let's just keep building and keep going. And as we building and going, let's see which of these charts you're closest to popping rank in accordance to. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to just say I'm doing 40, 40, 20. You don't have to just say I'm doing 40, 30, 30, or 33, 33, 33. I mean, you could technically do that 60% after that 40 max could be split anyway. You could split your percentages up really anyway, as long as one leg is not greater than 40%. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole premise with that business building strategy. And so, yeah, so that's pretty much that in a nutshell. So I encourage each and every one of you, and you can take a screenshot of this, but like I said, I'm gonna post it in the Rise and Profit team app and all of this, so you'll be able to access it there. But some action steps if you're serious. I encourage you to create a system where you can clearly identify who is on what leg, who is building. Start while you're small so you can duplicate it with your leaders and become a well-oiled machine. I left my notebook upstairs, but I have a notebook that I created. And in that notebook, I have, my first segment is all my personals. So I write down their name, their IBO number, their IBO username, and contact information. And yeah, I could put this in my phone, but it's something about being able to see it on paper. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you, do digital, but, you know, start, if you're small, like I say, anybody that's like 5,000 or less, you really need to be writing stuff out. But the cool thing is you don't have to keep up with a lot, because as you grow, you're duplicating yourself, okay? And so now you got your leaders doing what you do. So now all you have to do is keep communicating with your main leaders. They'll be communicating with their main leaders, and it becomes a oil machine. So in my first segment of it, I have all my personals, their information. Then I have what leg I placed them under. Then I have who is their success team. So like I created a success team, right? So anytime I have brand new customers come in and I'm placing them, they're introduced to a minimum of 2 other people besides myself. And then we create a group text for that customer. So if that customer has a question, they post in that group text. So it's 3 of us that's able to touch them. So if they can't reach me, Marquita can respond. If Marquita can't respond, Robin can respond. That's going to be key to your growth. And I get it. I am Academy is the educational platform, but nothing can beat that personal touch. Even if they know you just check in once a week or once every other week, hey, how's it going? You know, you may want to take advantage of, you know, like your groups and stuff like that. One of the things that we started in our movement, like within our team app, we chat every day. We have people working their compounding chart. We have them setting goals. They tell us their goals of how many trades they're trying to knock off their chart. They give us updates. All our brand new people, once we get them trained and they enter their first trade, they're in the chat talking about their trade, keeping that communication and that engagement, which also helps in the growth. So our team has built this really big relationship, you know, around that. So just getting creative in what you do to make sure somebody's being touched. And so those spaces help you. So, because if you're building fast, you may not be able to talk to every person every day and all of this because you want a building flow, but you got to make sure that you got a system and a success team of people that are there to answer questions and to be of support and things like that. So that's one of the things that I personally recommend. And I mentioned keep track of your personals and where your personals are actually placed. And I recommend doing one-on-ones with your personal enrollments and the enrollments of your personal enrollments. I always do a welcome call. Of course, I send them steps to get set up, but then I schedule 20 to 30 minutes to at least talk to them, answer their questions, make sure they understand how to enter their first trade. We're personally teaching everyone ECC 11 starting off because we want to, because like if we can get them trading in demo and at least making money and seeing the possibilities, we know we got someone for life, right? And so literally within their first 24 to 48 hours, we had them at least practicing in demo. We've explained ECC 11 without explaining too much of the Forex antics, if you will. Like all, you know, they understand a lot in the PIP. We make sure they understand that part. We make sure they know how to enter a trade and how to follow a signal, how to close a trade. We make sure those things are in place. So now that they're trading, they're like, it now piques their interest on, okay, I made profit, but why? Or how did they come up with that? And then that provokes them to now continue on through the academy to get on IML TV or IM Go Live and, you know, all of that. And so creating that system of what works. And so I do one-on-ones with all my new people, and then I make myself available. Y'all should check this out. If you go on Calendly.com, I don't know if y'all use Calendly. If you're a builder, I definitely encourage it. And so I've set up for all my personals enrollments, and if they're customers, the people that they enroll. So I do this mostly for my customers. Now I do speak with my business builders and they have access and we work together. But as far as my personal enrollments, because remember, your personal enrollments are key to you hitting rank, not just your business builders. They are important as well, okay? And so I just posted it in the chat. I tried, hold on. So Calendly, it's a free app if you only have one type of setup. So I set my Calendly up. I linked it to my Google Calendar. And so I was able to pick and say, because like for me, I love Trade New York sessions. So most of the time I don't do anything in the mornings. I don't start my work day with customers, IBOs and stuff until after 12. And so my Calendly is set up Monday through Friday for 20-minute increments for one-on-ones. And so it's literally on there. But then through my Google Calendar, if I'm traveling or I got a meeting, I just put it in my Google Calendar and Calendly blocks that time off so nobody can book. But outside of that time, they're able to schedule time. Like I got 2 that I have to do tomorrow. One is for a business builder who's trying to build in Charlotte. And then another one is for a new customer that's been in, but she still is kind of iffy on stuff. You know, so making yourself available so you can lifestyle it and put it around your schedule. It's not like you have to do it hours upon hours each day. You do it when it works for you, but the key is for them to know that you're available. That's really the big thing, that they know you're available. And then also don't reinvent, plug in and duplicate. So it's systems out there that are very successful that are working. If you find something's not working, you know, revisit it, or you may tweak it here or there, but the goal is for you to be duplicatable so that as you continue to grow, you don't hit peaks and then all of a sudden you're in a deep valley. Of course, we want to be on the uptrend, right? but you don't want that, you don't want that trend to change and it's like a strong downtrend for a minute, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing the things necessary to stay on the uptrend. Of course, there are going to be some pullbacks out, you know what I'm saying? Just some light corrections or whatever, but still the overall trend is going to be an uptrend, right? And so just doing these things would definitely put you in place for that. I do also encourage you, and I don't think I put this on there either, but I also encourage you, if you are a builder, even if it's you and one other person on your team that's building, even if it's you and 2 people or 3 people, you need to be doing leadership calls with them, right? You need to be making sure that y'all are talking about your goals. What can we do to get to those goals? Like when I tell y'all, I've literally been on the road for the last 5 months and I'm not even done. I'm headed to Pulaski, Tennessee when I leave here. Then I'll be in Atlanta tomorrow. Then I come back home, and then we're going to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for 2 days. And, you know, and then we're going to Vegas. So we're like all over the place. But for the person that can't necessarily travel all over the place, launch calls with your leaders. I had all my leaders start back over, even myself. We went back and wrote down a list of 50 people, 100 people. Because some of us never really made it through our list. And it's just about, at this point for us, just helping as many families as possible. You know what I'm saying? And so you think about for you and your team, what is your mission? What is your goal? And then make sure you have a system that lives up to that. You know what I'm saying? That puts you out there like, yeah, I'm really seeing the benefit of this connection. That's what you want to see. You don't want somebody joining, you lead them by the wayside, just plugging them straight into videos. They can't ask you no questions. Then they quit and join with somebody else because they felt like it was just hype, but you didn't really care. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So anyway, I think that's all that I have. This recording itself will definitely be available. I'm gonna post it on Team app. It'll also be on my YouTube channel. Y'all can subscribe, Camille Westmoreland, to get the update whenever it is available. We are looking at being in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I believe like the 2nd or 3rd week in November. I think like the 10th or the 11th. I'm just waiting on a few confirmations. We're going to do like a boot camp opportunity presentation, all of that. I have a girl in Charlotte, so we're trying to double back there too as well. So be on the lookout for those details. So yeah, that's really honestly all that I have. So we can open it up for a few questions. I do have an appointment I have to leave for in about 15 minutes. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, y'all can't unmute yourself. Hold on.